Hi, my name is Eric from the Ilara HMIS team, and today I have a pro tip for you. I'd like to show you how you can use filters in the Ilara HMIS to be able to get predefined data that meets your criteria. Now, to start it off, we'll go to the patient list where we have filters, and filters can help us predefine the list that we want displayed on the system. And to do that, we'll use a use case where we pretend to have some few information about the patient we're looking for, and then we'll try to apply a filter to locate the patient from the predefined list that will be returned. Now, we'll start off and say we know that the patient is of the gender female, so we'll go to biological data and then we'll apply a female, and then we'll say that the patient was added in the system in the month of October, so we will apply a filter on the date added to October. With that, let's apply the filters and see. You're seeing the list changes. Now we have patients that meet that criteria. So we'll start by looking at the first patient. We'll now look at the address where we know the patient was residing in Mombasa. So the first patient does not seem to meet that criteria. Let's go to the second patient. And yeah, the second patient has the address Mombasa. So this is the particular patient that we were looking for. Now that we have seen filters functionality in the patient list in action, let's explore other areas of the system that has the filters functionality. Now we'll go next to the next part that has the filters functionality, that is the encounter list. And here we could also be able to filter out the list of all the encounters being displayed here by going to filters, and then we will say, for example, that we want only encounters assigned a particular doctor, or we could even say we wanted encounters that were added either at a particular duration like the last 7 days, or even more information about those encounters like the type and even the biological data of the patient. Now with this, let's apply and see what happens. So on applying, now we get a shorter list of encounters. These are the only encounters that meet the criteria we've defined on the filters. Always, if you'd like to close any criteria like the last 7 days, you'll just click on the X. At the top here, you can be able to see the criteria that are active. So it means when we close the date, now this is the criteria that is active, meaning that the data that is displayed are encounters that were assigned this particular doctor. When you click on clear all filters, the system will remove the criteria that you defined, and to apply them again, you'll need to go to filters and apply the criteria again and click on apply filters. Let's move forward to the next part of the system that also has filters, and that is the billing module. In the billing module, filters is available in the orders section where we have the orders that have been transacted on the system. So here we can apply a filter and say maybe we want orders that are to be displayed should be orders for a particular patient or orders added at a particular date or duration. For example, let's say we want orders that were transacted on the 28th of November. So we will put the start date and the end date as 28th of November. And then we'll click on apply filters, and the system will return a list of orders that meet that criteria. You can see these were the unpaid orders on that day, and these were the paid orders. What about partially paid? We did not have any partially paid order on that particular day. Let's move ahead. Again, filters is also in the admin panel at the facility dashboard. You can see we have filters at the top here. And what will it do? Now here we're not having a list, but we are having analyzed data, and we can see the analysis presented in forms like charts and table. So the data currently being displayed here is from the date the system was started to be used. So if we're looking at the total revenue, this is the total revenue from the time the system use started. So we could say maybe we want only total revenue for the last 7 days. So we'll go to filters, go to duration and apply 7 days, and then click on apply filters. Now, the data that is now displayed here comes from analysis of data for the last 7 days. As you can see, the total revenue is now different from the total revenue that was displayed from the beginning of use of the system. That is also another area where we have filters functionality in the system. Let's move ahead and look at the other place that we have filters functionality. We also have filter functionality in staff management, where you can apply a filter. This will be useful when you are having a lot of staffs added into the system. Currently, we just have 3, so does not necessarily need a filter. But if the list was bigger, we would need to use the filter functionality to say, we want staffs that were added in the last 7 days or 30 days, or added from this day to this day, or on this day. We also have filters in expenses. Here you can be able to filter out the expense history and say you want expenses that were of this category. For example, we may say we want rent expense that were incurred by this person, and then we will apply and see if there was any expense. So there was no expense of the type rent. What about others? If we remove that criteria, so we have a transport expense incurred by this person. So that is also another place where we have filters. We also have filters in the expense summary, where you could be able to provide a criteria that will return the data that is displayed here. So we could say in filters here that we want this information to be from November 1st to end of November. So we'll put November 30th, and then we'll apply. And so we are seeing that this is the total amount of expenses incurred within that period. What if we wanted expenses incurred in half of that period? So we could say from November 20th to November 30th. And let's see if the data will be different. So there was no expense incurred in that period. Good. We have looked at how filters as a pro tip on the Ilara HMIS can be able to help you get more power into how you are using the system. And I hope that this pro tip of using filters in the Ilara HMIS gets to ultimately improve your user experience and also streamline your clinic operations. Thank you.